Not even bloody live. I've been on for ages. Don't know what's
No.
don't know what's going on with YouTube. There now we are. I don't know. Listen, it's been telling me that I'm live on StreamYard, and then I've gone onto my phone to share it, and it's saying that we're not even live. This is what I'm saying, and this is what happens with StreamYard. You know when I've tried, because
Yeah,
look, today I've sent you the link early. I've woken up
yeah.
early. I've tried to be on time today, and StreamYard said not today, mate. Do you know what I mean? Not today. So yeah, my apology. On my phone, it first said I was, and I was able to send the link and do all this other stuff. What's going on, Mally, bro? Hope you're well.
We
Um,
were on about 40 minutes. Oh, Manny, we just didn't have
yeah,
it
bro,
going. So,
fucking
sorry to be
half an
away,
hour.
mate.
Oh my god, StreamYard, Stream. But I told you, 41 next month, boomer business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
We'll,
I
we'll,
was 44 2 days ago, man. Ruined because
44.
it was the same day as our dad's birthday.
You don't even look 44, mate. You know what I mean? Telling you right, telling you right. But yeah, I need to
And
learn this.
moisturize at night, man.
Moisturize at night. Do you know what? I need to moisturize my eyes. There's a reason why I've got these glasses on, because I've got like,
Oh, yeah.
they're like Gucci handbags, bro. They're really
Same
authentic.
here.
Yeah, it takes a lot to
And, then,
get these bags. It takes a
and you
lot
know
to
what? I had these when I was 10 or 11, man. I was born with the fucking bags under my eyes, like
It's
trust
the
her.
same as I look at my son, and my son's 14 now, and he's like me. He's like a night owl. He stays up, for bloody ever. And I said to him, look, man, you're gonna end up just like me, man. You see these lines here? There's nothing I can do to make them go away, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, but there you go. We've got a shot off target for Fulham there. Big up Maddie said I ain't even got the game up yet, bro. I assumed that we was live for like half an hour. We was all having chin wags and everything, and apparently we just wasn't. So my
Some
apologies.
good confidence we had as well, mate. We were
Yeah, do you know
ritual.
what I mean? Some fucking good shit we were saying there. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely right. But these
What
things
time are you at on the match? Sorry,
I'm literally just about to get it back up again because it just came off for
okay.
me. So I'm on 418, it says here.
Okay,
420.
yeah, I'm literally the same.
Yeah. And I think it's because we're watching it off the app or off the internet. So I think we're literally maybe 30, 40 seconds behind, which ain't too bad. Normally I'm like a minute or a minute and a half. But like I said, the AI scores bang up to date, and we'll hear a little cheer if anyone does score before we see it. Big up AFC always as well. Hope you're well, my guy. Yeah, that is an absolutely joke. That's a joke as well, Shane. So I mean, might as well have a quick little chinwag about this. Love Island. That is now Arsenal. Do you know, like,
Oh
what
my
is
god, I saw that the other day. Is that an April Fool's joke? Because I don't think it is. Because I was watching League Gunner and he went into the where you fill out to apply for it, and it was massive amount of information, and it was just like,
no,
what?
yeah, and I don't
That's what
think it is.
going for. They're just going to get all the, and I'm not saying this in any way each of their own, but they're going to get all the LGBTQ people on just to show how inclusive as the club they
Yeah,
are.
absolutely.
It's a PR stunt. It's a
It's a
PR stunt to
farce.
show how inclusive.
It's an absolute farce. Do you know what I mean? I was watching an advert the other day that just come on YouTube about just some fashion and pictures, and I'm looking at the girl and I'm looking at the guy, and I'm like, this guy looks weird. At the end of the advert, the guy's trans. He's also, as a brown trans person. I'm so sick of this political correct, just whatever this world is that we've ended up in. I'm just tired of it, bro. I really am.
The horrible thing about it is that most people, the majority of people, are really accepting, but when they keep ramming it down your throat, people are starting to get, you know what I mean? So they're doing more damage by, like with this new Snow White movie and all. It's just people are having enough of just being told all the time. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely, bro. Like, it just get like, I don't need to know what you're doing in your bedroom. When I hear these pride, I call them the rainbow people. When I hear just keep that to yourself. That's got nothing to do with my children, because they're trying to bring it into schools now. The sex education has gotten younger. They're talking about
really young,
really young, really young, which is disturbingly young for my opinion. They're also talking about gay people and all. And it's like, well, hold on, you're not going to know they're gay unless they tell you, or unless you see how they act, unless they betray it in some way, right? It's not like race, for instance. Like, it's not up there, in my opinion. It's not up there in that kind of priority in terms of
you won't know until they're 11 or 12, 13 anyway.
Yeah, and you won't know unless they tell you. It's not like you're looking at someone and saying, oh, that person's yellow like me, or that person's dark black, or that person's dark brown or white, or it's not like that. You're not going to know unless they tell you or show you. So that for me, it's like, well, then no one's going to then, treat you a different way, because they don't know unless you tell them. So then the fact that you're trying to have gay rights and all this, it's like, gay rights for what, bro? That's your bedroom activities. We don't care. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I see it anyway. But
It's like I said, because they keep forcing it, people are going, the people that were accepting now are getting annoyed, where they shouldn't have left it.
mm,
People were accepting as it was. I have no issues with anybody, whatever they want to get up to. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But when they keep ramming it down your throat, it gets a bit, yeah.
that's when it gets, yeah, and when they try and put it on the kids as well to make them understanding. I actually
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you're going to confuse kids, in my honest opinion. And I said to my missus and that, like, like, I don't want none of that shit. When they come home, I drill that out of their head, bro, because the school's really trying to push it. They're really trying to push it, and I was like, leave the children alone. Do you know what I mean? Leave the
Yeah,
children alone.
yeah.
Like these,
Trying to create drones.
Mm. So I just seen a,
So
is
I
it
have a
William?
corner here now. You at the corner? Have you got
Yeah,
something in the
yeah,
corner?
is it William? Yeah, William going over to take it. Yep. I'm surprised he's still kicking ball. Do you know what I mean? When he left us, he had a pot belly and that, didn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and is he not annoyed that Arteta promised him the Champions League within 3 years, man?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's another lie by Arteta. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Fulham corner here, guys.
Yeah.
Decent ball in. Oh no, that was the weird angle. So I thought that was going towards goal, but it came out. Yeah, it looks like it's a throw on for Crystal Palace. So not a bad game at all, guys. Thank you for the people that's finally tuned in. I'm thinking, why am I not seeing no one? I'm going back into my thing. I'm trying to share it. I'm like, I'm live. Shane's here. We're talking. StreamYard says live, but on YouTube it just said scheduled. I'm like, what on earth? So then I've come back on here and it says go live in the corner. What an absolute numpty, innit? I tried today, guys. I set an alarm. I sent out the link early. I tried, but we're here. We're here.
Well, he was up early. Sent me the link a good half hour before.
Do you know what I mean? And last time with me and Shane, he was waking me up, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I appreciate you, man, coming on each and every time. Big up Mally's in the building as well. If you want to jump on, bro, it's up to you. We're just watching the game, man. Watching the game with friends. That's how I want to kind of have it. And like I said, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Shane Gooner, make sure you go and do that now. What you want? 70 now?
4 now. I got a few last night. The history videos I'm putting up seem to be getting a couple with.
Wicked.
I was told the pre-records don't do well, but they seem to be.
It just depends, bro. It just depends. I mean, I'm watching all this other stuff, trying to work out, what's the best way. And because I've just been stuck between 3 and 310 for like nearly 2 months or whatever it is, I don't know what it is, to be honest. And sometimes it just goes and sometimes it don't. But all I'm getting told is just be consistent, try and be consistent. I'm seeing you're doing that. And also I've got a couple of burner accounts as well. So when I finish this live, I'll make sure I give you a follow on the burner ones as well.
I think I might have 2 buried accounts from ages ago as well.
Got some burner accounts. Listen,
I was watching all those videos on this, and now that I've got the YouTube, not the studio, maybe it is the studio, but it's showing like the times that your videos are being watched at and stuff like that. But then I said, I'll follow that, and I put the same type of one out, and it did shit. And then the next day you do the same, and it does. You know what I mean? I put 2 of the history ones out at the same time.
Okay.
And one of them got like 100 and something views, and the other one's at about 40. Like, so you just don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know. I'm just giving up on all that, and I'm just going to put it up when I feel like it. And
exactly, bro. And just stay consistent. That's the only thing I can say, because there's a lot. Oh shit! There was a shot there, and it hit a Fulham. But no, that's nowhere a penalty. He was trying to slide on the floor to clear the ball. That's nowhere a penalty. But it's Fulham with the better chances at the moment. Crystal Palace kind of getting
all the ball,
Yeah, they're having all the ball at the moment. But yeah, just going back to what we were saying, yeah, just try and be consistent. Obviously, if you've got people that have got a little bit of a following behind them already, it always helps out. Things like, directs and stuff like that. But when you're small like us, you don't always get that kind of stuff. So it's just being consistent, bro. And as you said, just trying to put things out when you want, but definitely don't give up on the pre-records. I'd say just try and mix it up, a little live show here and there. Couple of pre-records, couple of shorts. I've been a bit slacking on the pre-records and shorts as of late, but that's just been down to being busy and birthdays and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I was talking to Aaron yesterday or the day before, and he was saying he's going to do the lives, and I said, I didn't know you were meant to do them until you had like a couple of hundred. He said, no, you just go ahead and do them.
You
And I
can
was
do
like,
them
oh,
from 50. You can do them from
yeah,
50. So,
yeah, I'm going to start that next week then and get yourself on if that's all right.
yeah, of course, of course. I'm always here to
Yeah,
help, man. You know what I mean? Just like I said, but whenever I'm on, unless I'm doing like a under the lens or a specific show, then you're
yeah.
always welcome, bro. Same for
I'll
Mali.
give you a heads up beforehand. We'll arrange it. You know, Aaron said he'd do it as well. I'll get him on. I
Brilliant,
don't know.
brilliant.
I think I prefer to have you like we did 1-on-1. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Start it just because it gives us more of a chance to have a chat. Like the one, funny enough, the one I did with you, I got about 6 subscribers out of that. You know what I mean? Where
Brilliant,
then I've done
brilliant.
them where there's hundreds or I say 100 people watching and I get none. You know what I mean?
No,
Because
no,
you
it's
can have good
crazy.
banter with two people and people enjoy it. You know, so you don't know.
Exactly, exactly, and it's always good to kind of, like I said, that's why I want to have these under the lenses. It's not like I'm some pioneer, you know. You got Hooks has got About the Fan. The first person I ever saw doing the one-on-one thing was actually Sarcasm City. I think is
Right.
it Flawless or Lawless, whatever his name is. I don't know. So no disrespect there, but he was the first person I saw it, and I just think like for me, it's just people that I want to work with and I want to hear their story. And also, it's like give them a platform on my platform, make it your show. Because a lot of people go on other people, and I'm guilty of this as well. Because sometimes I just get into a tangent and don't shut up. But sometimes I watch shows and I feel like that person needs to get to speak more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and that's why I want to have the under the lenses, so you know you guys can say what you want to say, get what you want to get off your chest, and we actually get to hear you speak. You know, someone like Kenny, someone like the Southern Gooner. I feel like sometimes the
Mm.
shows that they're on, they don't get to speak as much, and it's not like, you know, because some people have bigger personalities than others. So yeah, for me, the one-on-one thing, I think it's good, man. It helps. So yeah, I'll be happy to do it whenever you're ready for me, bro. Oh, sorry, that was a bit of a bad tackle there. Yellow card, first yellow card of the game. Who's that?
I don't know. I wouldn't be giving that as a yellow.
No, no, no. It looked worse on in
It
fast
looked a lot
time.
worse.
Yeah, yeah, look,
I
yeah.
think
It actually looks it
refs
looks better.
that give a yellow card early in the game, they handcuff themselves then that they have to start throwing them out for the whole match. You know what I
They
mean?
do, they
I'd let a
do.
few go if I was a ref. I'd let a few go. Depending. If it's a vicious tackle, you have to, but
Yeah,
using
with
common
that,
sense.
that's Adam
That's the
Morton who
problem with
just
the rest of this country, man. There's common sense has just not
common
come
sense.
into
It's
it.
just gone.
And
It's just
why is it when I watch the Champions League or Spanish football that the offside is just this computerized? It's just done in seconds. Why if England with all this money? Why can't they get the proper technology? And why is all these lines that look like I'm doing it on my phone? You know what I mean? In the Champions League, it just shows the thing, and you see their knee popping out, and you go offside. What
yeah,
is
yeah.
it a legal thing or something? It boggles the
Ooh.
mind.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, bro. And I was saying it a little bit on the live that I think I did solo, whatever. I can't even remember. I was saying like, you know, England's the only people that we've got this VAR system, but it's different from the rest of Europe. You know, I don't know the full ins and outs, but it's like, well, for me, that's a pretty simple answer, so it can be corruptible, in my honest opinion. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah, 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 yeah.
you know,
Or is it?
that's
It's probably an arrogance thing. We won't change. They'll change to the same as us. But like one thing that's always amazed me as well with the rest of England is the Premier League is the richest league by a country mile, not just by a bit, like by a country. I'm not taking in the Arabian leagues and all that. I'm talking about in Europe. It's
no,
the
I know what you
richest
mean.
league
Yeah,
and biggest television rights and all that stuff. Why don't they headhunt the best referees in the world and pay them instead of just English refs? Why don't you get this ref the Champions League final? He's from Slovakia, so what? He's a top ref. Pay him, get him in, hire the best refs in the world. I don't
yeah,
understand why
great,
they
great point.
stick with these games, even after all the scandals with your man flagging off Klopp and stuff like that. Surely it's time for a revamp. But they're like the mafia, and they're in with Sky Sports, and they back each other all the time.
Of
You know, you
course,
can even
of
see some of the
course.
pundits are like, "Oh God, can I say this? Can I say that?" The
No,
refereeing in England is horrendous,
spot on,
horrendous.
spot on. And I think, yeah, and I think it's just so it can still be corruptible, if I'm being honest. You know, when
Yeah,
they're going to VAR and people are checking their FPLs and stuff, it really is, you know. And or why is the VAR getting involved? Like if the ref has made an on-field decision, sometimes you're thinking to myself, why has VAR pulled this back? It's not even that deep, but it's like they want to try and get involved. Honestly, man, betting's a massive industry as well. So I listen, I put nothing past these guys at all. And I feel like, yeah, that's excuse me, that's why Man City's going to get away with this stuff, because it's going to look too bad on the Premier League otherwise, in my humble opinion. So yeah, great point, my bro. Absolute great point.
Remember, there was an Arsenal game against Wimbledon, and I want to say 96, 97, but I could be wrong. But they at half time, the power went. It was a night game. The floodlights went, and they had to call the game off. It was 0-0. But it turned out that some big, massive Asian betting syndicate had the game as a draw, or had it as 0-0, and someone went underground and cut the power. It was a Premier League game in
Yeah,
the mid
remember this.
'90s.
I feel like I
So the
should
game
remember
was given as a draw. Then the game was given as a draw, and they won a shitload of
in
money.
the mid-90s. Like, what was I in 96? I was like 13 going on 14. So yeah, I mean the memory is a bit, but I feel like I should remember that. But there you go. There you go. I mean, you know, and since this league is just, as you said, you know, by far the richest league, and the money that's generated, there's no way that there's no corruption in it, in my humble opinion. So no, I totally
Anything with that amount of money will have corruption. It has to.
has to. That's why I came away from
money just corruption.
money is corrupt. Yeah. Punched out. Sorry there. Just Crystal Palace with a chance. First time I'm seeing them in the other team's half, to be honest. And now it's Fulham. Great tackle there. Is that Wharton again? He wants to be careful. Good
player,
Yeah. He was. Oh, that's good. Is that from Mateta? He's just got barged off the ball. No, it's not Mateta, I don't think. Yeah, yeah, this is a good game. It looks like Williams actually. I was just about to say that he's actually playing really well. Oh shit! Ball through there. Shot.
Back in 2 seconds, bro.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Who was that? He should have scored that, man. That was good play from Fulham there. No, not a Wobie. Who's this guy? Sorry, they all look the same. Good tackle, Adam. Yeah, it was a great tackle from Wharton. Let me get to some of these comments. Mally saying, "Oh, the Batty Man thing." Yeah, that was an earlier conversation. Big up Godfrey in the building. He's bigging up Views and Shane Guna. Always appreciate you, my bro. Big up Mally. Make sure you're going to subscribe to Mally as well. Like I said, bro. Let me put the. Let me. Hold on. Let me try and get. I'll send you the linkos if you want to come on. Obviously, no rush, or you're not forced or anything like that. But yeah, so far so good. Decent game. We got 20 odd minutes on the clock. Crystal Palace had a little chance, but it's been all Fulham. I can't remember what I predicted this. I think I predicted it to be like an odd 1-0 or a 2-1 or anything. But yeah, big up Godfrey, man. They're saying they're forcing it on the children is sickening. Yep, going back to the old subjects. That's when, leave the children alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Like, honestly. But that's all I'll say on that. Big up Mally saying we have boys stabbing each other every day and their focus is on sex education. This is what I'm trying to say, bro. When did my daughter start learning? I swear she was just 8, 9, and she's coming home talking to me about testicles and that. I'm like, what the fuck? Do you know what?
And kids used to get to be kids for a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
Now you never get to be a kid again. Why are they? Let them be kids for as long as they can be, because the world will shit all over them quick enough.
Yeah. Even when they are kids, the world shits all over kids. You know what I mean? The world all over. There's kids suffering, and I'm just like, that's one thing I really, really can't stand. I mean, you can do a lot of things in life, but any type of grape or anything like that, forcing yourself on women and children, I just think you need to be set on fire. Honestly, I just feel like you need to be set on fire, and I've obviously got my own reasons for that, but yeah, leave the kids alone, in my humble opinion. And when you keep trying to push this, Sam Smith, people like that, why do they do all of the things that they do so over exorbitant, in the stupidness that they wear, and coming on stage like looking like a piece of meat and stuff? Honestly, bro, I'm just like, I said to my kids, do not watch this stuff, innit? Bloody demonic.
Yeah.
It's horrible stuff, man.
What's this game review? I've always had a soft spot. I wanted to ask you, I've always had a soft spot for Palace, right? Just, there are a lot of people have a second team, and Norwich as well. I always liked Norwich. When I was a kid, I liked Norwich. I think it was just the jerseys that I loved when I was 7 or 8. I loved the yellow and the green, right?
Yellow and green. And
would there be a team now, apart from Arsenal, that you'd have a soft spot for?
Absolutely, my bro. It's QPR, because my missus, obviously her mum and all of their family are season ticket holders at QPR. So I think in the last 4 or 5 years, I've probably been to more QPR games than I have Arsenal. And to be honest, I really enjoy it down there. It's not pretentious. It's it's very much realistic on where they are and what they're doing. and I feel like you can just enjoy the football a lot more. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's a great question, my bro. Great question. Yeah, it's QPR. I've been there quite a few times as well. And you said you liked Palace, did you? And Norwich.
I liked Palace when I was young, and funny enough, it was because of Ian Wright. And then he went to Arsenal, and it was one of the happiest days of my life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But and on Ian Wright, man, when we were talking, the people were talking, trying to compare Van Persie to him. Like, to me, Ian Wright it pisses all over Van Persie. I'm sorry, but with his goal scoring record, he didn't sign for us till he was 28,
I know.
and he broke the goal scoring record.
Yeah, I was there. What 4-1 against Bolton. I was at Highbury that day when he broke it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh man! When he ripped the top off, he thought he had already he'd broken it, but he had only equaled it.
David Seaman kind of got semi-lobbed. We conceded the first goal, and then Ian Wright went on to score 3, and I was just like, I was there. That's like one of my first real game when I went on my own without my dad, and I just went with my pal. You know what I mean? In the North Bank, I was there, bro. I was there. I can remember it.
I adore Ian Wright. I adore him.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man! Jesus Christ!
He's such a good person, you know that.
Yeah, you know, Patrick.
I've never met him, obviously, but I mean, like, you can see that he's just a kind person. He comes across like an absolutely lovely person, pure person.
Yeah, I feel
like that's my missus, like, because I've met Henri, I'd shake his hand, and the funny thing is with Ian Wright, he's the only person in the world that I've ever said, if I met him, I'd just ask him, can I get a hug, man?
Yeah.
I think you'd get something off him if you hugged him. I'd say it would uplift you.
Lift him up, like a little teddy bear. No, I get you, man. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, I feel like his takes on Arsenal nowadays are sometimes like, come on, man, you're like, stop towing the line. I feel like he can be a little bit.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that.
Yeah, but him as a person and as a player, I would never. It's like football saved his life almost. And when I watch him and stuff, I feel like that's the kind of energy that I get from him. Do you know what I mean? He's very happy to be there, and so I get it, bro. I would definitely. He was one of the main reasons that really stuck me to it. Because obviously, when you grow up or you're born and your dad's putting you in kits from your first day on earth and stuff, you don't really have a choice in it. But it comes to a point when you're like, 10, 11, 12, you start to look at it for yourself and you start to take it in for yourself. And Ian Wright was a massive part of that. Massive part of that. Do you know what I mean? So absolute legend. So even though I don't like his takes nowadays on my team, he's always going to have that legendary status for me. Definitely.
I think that's a lot to do with his positive nature, that it takes a lot to make him be negative on the team, and that is a lot of it. A lot of it is not wanting to upset the club as well, and it maybe loses tickets or loses access to the training ground and stuff like that. But I don't know. Yeah, no, I agree that him and the likes of him and Keown just say it as it is, lad. Come on.
Tony Adams, I used to love Tony as well, man. Jesus. David Seaman, that little laugh that he had, I used to love David. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like David, one of my favorite keepers ever. Do you know what I mean? But just a brilliant time, to be alive, a brilliant time to start supporting Arsenal. That's why I had to get rid of that. Nathan is trying to tell me he's had the best time of his life under fucking Arteta. Like, get out of here, bro. Oh my God. Do you just see that?
Whoa.
What a shot. Who was that?
What a hit.
What a hit. I think the bar's still shaking. Jefferson. Oh my God. Jefferson Lerma outside of the boot. Oh my Lord. What a strike.
It needed to go off the bar onto the ground and in, and it would have been.
Yeah, and then it would have been, or even hit the goalkeeper.
Only a style.
What a shot. Sorry, Shane.
He had to run backwards and adjust his body, turn around, and then hit.
And he hit on the outside of his boot as well. That was if that went in, goal of the season. Goal of the season.
Why aren't we in this FA Cup?
I know, bro, Shane. I was there, doing the scars for the Carabao, man. I was like coughing up thermals. It hurt. Do you know what I mean? It really did. It really did, and even for us to not even.
I had us sitting at home on his 15 million, and we're the ones. It hurts us more than it does him. I guarantee you, it hurts us more than it does him. That we're
even the players, bro. Certain people like Ben White. They don't even like football outside of playing it. Do you know what I mean? They're all millionaires in their own right. They're not going to be hurting as much as we are. Definitely not. Sorry, Crystal Palace getting into the game a little bit now. Probably G'd up by that shot. That was a great. Lamar. That was a great. He's on the ball now. That was a great shot. I'm still taken aback by that. What technique?
Yeah, so I thought it was Star instantly because of the technique, but it was their holding midfielder hitting it like that.
Said good tackle, Adam. Big Adam, sorry, big up, man. Like I said, bro, I did send you the link on WhatsApp if you want to jump up. Like I said, no pressure. Happy to have you in the chat. Make sure everyone goes to subscribe to Mali and my guest Shane Guna. Show some love, people. It's free. And like I said, anyone that subscribes over here, we subscribe straight back. It's free. It don't cost anything. So we show love for the love. All these brothers are on my G Wharton. Really, I think that was a little bit earlier. We've probably moved on a little bit from that now, so my apologies, bro. Let me get these comments. Mali said, I put my money on Palace winning the FA Cup. It might sound deluded, but I don't know, man. No, I don't sound deluded, not at this stage. Any of the teams can win it. I think the only team that you're probably looking at like they can't is Preston, but if they have a good result against Villa, it's the magic of the cup. This is why the FA Cup is like one of my favorite cups ever, bro. Honestly. And I think it's people in our age bracket, Shane. I think Lee says the same sort of thing as well, because this is what we grew up on. Do you know what I mean? This is what we grew up on. This is what Arsenal have got heritage in. Well, we did have,
Yeah, one of my early memories, I think I was 12. Well, 11 was the double in the cups. And we played, and my brother supports Sheffield Wednesday, and we played Wednesday in both finals. But he's older than me, so I got the shit kicked out of me over the space of a week. We beat them in both finals. But like that was to me, and United won that. I think that the league they did win the league that season, and all these like I said to you before, over here, Tottenham wouldn't be my biggest rivals because rivals are who you grow up next to when you're listening to them John all the time. So for me, it's United and Liverpool because there was United and Liverpool fans everywhere. Yeah. So, when United won the league, I had a lot of Liverpool fans taking my side because they hated United going, oh, well, two cups is better than the league and all this stuff. And we were arguing back and forth. But Arsenal finished 10th that season, you know what I mean? But we still won 2 cups.
We still won 2 cups. Do you know what I mean? So,
so I don't remember finishing 10th. I don't give a shit that we finished 10th. We won 2 cups.
Yeah, exactly.
The last time we won the League Cup.
Yeah, 30 odd years ago. And that's what I'm trying to say. And this is what I try and say to people, it's about winning. Because even at the start of the season, Shane, I was sitting there saying, win me a domestic cup. And then people were like, oh, are you turning into a top gooner? Because I'm saying, win me a domestic cup and not saying, win me a major. And I'm like, bro, like what? What inkling have you, what gives you confidence that we can actually win a major, bro? Because I'm looking at this team and we just keep failing no matter how close we get. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just like, win me the Carabao, win me the FA Cup. Because, Shane, last season, Liverpool fans and Man United fans were bantering me. Even though they both finished below us, they won cups. Do you see what I'm saying? And of course. So you've won and I haven't. So you've had a better season than me. Spurs can still have a better season than us this year. Man City, if they win this competition, do you know what I mean? So it's about winning, man.
Tell those top gooners to get on the train to Newcastle and go ask one of them if the Carabao Cup means nothing. Do you know what I mean? They're still buzzing off that, and rightly so. I watched that final and I was getting into it. You know what I mean?
Bro, I had goosebumps. Yeah, when I saw them running around, I had goosebumps. Isaac running around with the cup, and they're like, "Oh, look how big that cup is." Do you think I care, bro? I had goosebumps. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not even my team.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. People like Mama Flossie, big up Mama Flossie. God knows I'm not gonna ask a lady how old she is, but even my friend Geordie Specs, Geordie Dread TV, like these guys are my age and older. They've never seen anything. My dad died 62, didn't never see us win a Champions League. I don't want that to be the case for me. So Newcastle not winning a cup for 60 odd years, that's probably the one and only trophy they're ever going to see before they kick the bucket. Do you know what I mean? So it means everything, bro. Anyone that tries to go on.
No, sorry, you're right. Go on.
I was just going to finish up on that. Anyone that tries to downplay winning, give your head a wobble. Like, we're talking about the quote and the PR stuff. That's the top of the list.
Yeah, but it's the cup. Like one of my memories of when we won the Cup Winners' Cup, Alan Smith scored against that stacked Parma team, absolutely stacked Parma team. They had Brolin and Asprilla and Zola, and they were absolutely
doing the business.
We had Ian White was out, and we had injuries. Didn't complain about the injuries, got on with it. Smith scored. David Seaman had broken ribs going into that game. He got a load of injections. He broken ribs, and he kept the clean sheet against that team. But the following year, when we lost to Zaragoza in the final, when Naeem scored from the
halfway line, fuck it hell.
I was like 14, and I was watching it in my bedroom with my mate on the TV, and I could see penalties were coming, and we had gotten through on penalties in the semis as well.
So you had
And
a
I was
bit
like,
of
all right, penalties. So I went downstairs to get a glass of Coke, right? And went downstairs. I was halfway up, and I heard my mate screaming, "Oh my god!" Ah.
yeah.
I was like, "What happened? What happened? What happened?" And he goes, "What a goal! What a goal!" I said, "What happened?" And he said,
No.
line. I said, "Who scored?" He said, "I don't know, but it wasn't an Arsenal player."
Was
And I
it
ran
us? Oh,
upstairs.
shit.
I
Yeah.
ran upstairs, saw the replay, and I threw up. I vomited on the carpet.
Oh.
Saying that it
Oh.
doesn't mean I threw up, man.
What?
And I was
See?
like,
Yeah.
I
See,
said,
that's that's real investment, bro. But I remember that clearly as well. I mean, I must have been a couple of years younger than you, but I literally remember
"Oh,
that clearly. I can
ridiculous."
literally, the camera was behind him, and you could see it
Yeah.
from that back angle. Oh my god. Oh my! And I never lived that down. Going to school, you know what I'm
Oh
saying? And
man!
then
All
now,
the jokes came out as well. Why the Spaniards are such big dicks because they can lob semen from the halfway
yeah, because
line.
they
I
can
remember
love
all.
see me. I don't even know if I heard that one. I was just getting bantered. Obviously, I was 13, 12. God knows how I was at
Yeah,
the time. But and then now the funny thing is, Shane, is we were getting bantered about it then, but now it's not even acknowledged. Rivals would have it that we didn't even play in Europe ever. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
so it's funny how the game goes. It really is. But no, great story. And I remember that clearly. I remember because back in the day as well in London. Oh, great goal. Was that no, Eze? Sorry, bro. Oh my
Oh, what a
day.
player! What a
What a
player!
goal from Eze. I wanted this guy at Arsenal, man. What a goal from Eze. I don't know if it's going to let me do the reactions. Is it? There we go. A little bit of confetti. Get in there, Crystal Palace. London Derby, man. Maybe we're gonna lean a little bit more towards Palace because Shane's got a soft spot for them. What a great goal that was from Eze, though. Scored
Odegaard
England.
couldn't lace his boots, man. Could not lace his boots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a true playmaker. That's a number 10.
That's a number 10. Look at
That's a
this.
proper
Bang.
number 10. Look at that. Give me the
Oh,
ball.
what
Give me
a
the ball.
finish.
I'll do it.
Oh,
That's a
look,
number
take
10.
it, player. Yeah, he
Hey,
done
look
that
at
for
him. Give me the
England as
ball.
well. Look at this.
I'll
Bang,
do it for
outside
you.
the box. Just
That's a
like
number
he's
10.
Fury.
Yeah, that's like Ranieri. Yeah. Proper number 10. Give me the ball. I'll fix this situation.
What a goal from Eze. Scored for England recently. I set up that game.
He's a
There we
top
go. Look,
player, man.
even AI scores a bit late. We're in front of AI score. Hey. We're having a party. Go on, Glasner, man. I like Glasner as well, man. Put some respect on his name,
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Put some respect on his name. Well done, Palace, man. Well done, Palace. Do you know? And to be honest with you, mate, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't really mind Fulham that much either. I've
I
always
like
looked,
Fulham as well. I like
yeah,
Fulham.
like a little mini Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Well, family club. Family
Yeah,
club,
family club, and I've been to Craven Cottage a few times as well. It's not a bad ground. I've been to Stamford. I think Craven Cottage is better than Stamford Bridge. I got stuck in the lift there when I was doing flagging for Chelsea. Fucking cheapskate club. Do you know what I mean? Like I was in there for nearly 2 hours. But what a goal from Eze. 34 minutes on the clock. FA Cup starting to heat up now. I mean, to be honest, yeah, big up Mali. Oh, is he in? I thought he'd come up in here.
No, he's got his money on Palace. So
Big up Mali, man. Big up Mali. Sorry, I do appreciate it. And I think is I was I was cussing out big up Shaq and big up James from Football Locker Banter. I think it's that, or Football Locker Room. I think they've changed their name recently. And I was sitting there saying, you're moving like uncles with the comments, and I'm doing that today because I'm watching the game and I'm not keeping up with the comments. So I do apologize, guys. But yeah, if you got a bet on Mali, fingers crossed that you can actually get some money today, mate. Big up Ian Wu, Liverpool fan. Hope you are well today. Remember David Seaman making an appearance on Brookside. Do you know what? My mum used to watch all of the soaps and I never used to watch them. So I never actually saw that, my bro. So no, I don't remember. Do you remember that, Shane?
No, not at all. No,
not at all. Hey, big up David
Seaman.
Big up David Seaman. And to be honest with you, there was another reason why I warmed to David. I know it's going to sound a bit silly and please don't take it the wrong way, but he reminded me of my dad because he liked David Seaman because he liked black girls, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? It's like my dad, didn't it? My dad's Irish Italian, yeah. Cork.
There you go.
Yeah, and his father was from Sicily, his mum was from Cork, and my mum's from the Caribbean, Antigua and Jamaica. But my dad, like, even I got a half brother and half sister. They're mixed race, just like me, like my dad. He kind of he likes the dark chocolate. And when I looked at Seaman, that was the kind of the first thing I saw with him as well. And I was like, he's like my dad. And it just kind of just made me. I know it sounds a bit silly, but it just made me warm to him a little bit more. I know it sounds silly, like I don't have them kind of thing, that kind of sentiment for players anymore because football's moved on. But when I was younger, it's these things. You had Ian Wright banging in goals with the gold tooth. You got David Seaman over here with the long hair, reminded me of my dad. It was just everything just clicked into place, man. But
I wanted to be a goalkeeper when I was young. Dave Seaman and Packy Bonner for Ireland were the two that made me want to be goalkeepers.
Yeah.
I bought the orange gloves. Dave Seaman had orange Wool Sport gloves, I think they were. I bought them. It took me because it was before the internet, so I had to scour sports shops and then found them, and they were too expensive. Begging my mum for weeks, please, mum, please, I need the gloves. Yeah, David Seaman, I adored him. I think if you earn the nickname, the goalkeeper, if your nickname goalie.
Sorry, mate, I've just heard a cheer there. And are we late? Are we? What's going on? It's saying Crystal Palace has scored again. And
no, that's showing the same one. I'm really
showing the same one, so it might be a glitch. It might be a glitch on AI score because I'm sure you heard the little cheer there.
Hang on, they're through here. So maybe
we are a little bit behind, but we was in front before. Here's Eze again. Great ball in. Oh my God!
There it is. Yeah.
There it is. I thought this game was going to be a lot closer. Let me be honest, I was kind of like, it's going to be a 1-0 or a 2-1. And Fulham have been all over Palace in this game. And all of a sudden, ever since that Lamar shot, Crystal Palace have been banging to the game.
Some player, man.
Saw great play. Eze.
They sign him from the Championship. They take chances on players. You know what I mean? And
of course they do.
What a player, man.
Yeah, Eze, man. And I was saying before we even kicked the ball, our first game was against Wolves, August the 17th. Was that Lamar with the header as well? Great ball from Eze. Is that Mateta? Oh, it looked like, who is that? I don't want to say it's Saw.
I'm watching on the phone.
Same. Bang, it's Saw. What a header. I said from the summer, before we even kicked the ball, and I've said it so many times on this channel, I was saying, you don't need to go out and get world-class players. Go and get me Isaac. This was before the 100 million. This was in the summer. Go and get me Isaac. Go and get me Elise, Eze, and Kudus. That was the 4 players I asked for. Yeah. And bro, I reckon we would have won the title, bro. Honestly.
Yeah. Honestly. He signed Havertz instead of Kudus. They double the amount.
Yeah, double the amount. And he was at Ajax and we could have got him for like 35 million or something. I'm pretty sure.
And Eddie wanted Kudus.
Absolute joke. And the same way, we could have got Isaac. Oh no, but we've got Eddie Nketiah who couldn't score in a brothel. Do you know what I mean? He's on the bench now. He's not even playing in this game. What is going on with our talent ID? And I've been saying Eze, and everyone was telling me Eze can't play left wing. He can play anywhere, bro. Across the middle. He can play on the right, on the left, in the middle. He can do it all. Yeah, he can do it all. And in this game, man, especially he must be buoyed up after the England game, getting a goal. Listen, man, he's a top player, man. Top player. And the thing is, we wouldn't have, I think he might even have had a release clause at one point. I think Elise did, we could have got Kudus for 50 odd million. We probably could have got Isaac for 60, 70. Now, a year later on, and they're all priced out. Kudus is talking about 80 million, 150 million for Isaac. We need to be brave. We need to go and get Eze, bro. And I big up early doors football, big up Tony over there and Budge and all the West Ham fans. They were like, they want Eze to be their marquee signing this summer. Yeah. And some Arsenal fans might say if we went to get Eze, that wouldn't be a marquee signing for them. But for me, that would. I'm sorry, it really would. I
don't give a shit if it's a marquee signing or not. If I can see that he'd improve the team, I want him. I don't give a shit if he sells jerseys or not.
Great point. Exactly. And I think that's because you know what it is, because obviously we're trying to win the league and we keep getting told about this sprinkle of gold dust and all this other crap. So we're expecting X, Y, and Z. So when we get to summer and January and they're talking about Cunha and Mbuemo, it's probably not the names that people want to hear. However, and you got to look past that. Are they going to improve the squad or not? Are they better than Gary Elliott and fucking Kung Fu Panda on the left? Of course they are. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes
Cunha's the one I want the most, I think. Cunha's the type of player we need, man. He's a game changer.
And just like Eze as well, he's definitely someone I'm like, he's still at Palace.
Goal where Eze just said, give me the ball. I'll do
Yeah,
it. You know what I mean?
just like Cunha, just
And
like you
Odegaard,
said.
Odegaard says, "Give me the ball to the centre back," and then he jogs
He-
forward, pirouettes, and lays it sideways.
Brilliant. And Cunha done that. Look at Eddie Nketiah smiling in the background now on the bench, happy to be a bench warmer, bro. Like, have some shame in
Happy
your
to be in
career.
it.
Yeah, just happy to be there, bro. Have some shame, man. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why when I look at Meg Sterling, I'm just so upset, bro. So I'd send him back now. I wouldn't even keep him till the summer, like, but just wasting money. Honestly, bro.
Chelsea were smart enough to put in a clause that we weren't able to send them back.
You see, yeah, yeah. See, they can actually
But
do.
we were stupid enough to find the fucking thing.
So stupid, bro. So stupid. Big up Mali. He's saying when Abs did that mega stream, I was gonna post a vid on mine's why Arsenal should target Oliver Glasner over Inzaghi. Okay. Well, listen, you know these guys are competent managers, man. Glasner, Iriola, whatever, Thomas Frank. Do you know what I'm saying? These guys are all competent managers, bro. Even Marco Silva at Fulham. Fulham, they're always
Yeah.
troubling us. We got Fulham on Tuesday, you know, God bless. You know, they're one of the usual suspects. They always manage to get something out of us. So I'm not looking forward to that game, man. But yeah, big up Mali. Listen, Oliver Glasner, Thomas Frank, Iriola, there's, you know, Silva. There's loads of great young managers in the Premier League, you know, that should have been given a chance. That should be given chances. They're talking. Let me ask you, Shane. They're talking about. They questioned Iriola at a press conference, the Bournemouth manager, talking about Spurs. Obviously, he said, "I'm happy where I am," but didn't kind of, you know, didn't kind of elaborate any more on that. Would you think that's a step up for Iriola if he went from Bournemouth to Spurs? Would you think that's a step up, or someone like Glasner
No,
from Crystal Palace
it's a
to Spurs?
sidestep. It's a sidestep at best.
Mm, mm,
It's backwards even. You know what I mean? Like Bournemouth. I look at their first 11 and I go, they're a match for anyone. You know what I mean? And he's built it. And these managers, you see it all through history where they do something with a small team and they take on a job not necessarily bigger and they absolutely crumble and they never find their way back. I think he'd have it in him, but like Spurs is poison. Like he just if he knows his football history, you wouldn't touch that club. You wouldn't
yeah,
touch it.
wouldn't touch
It's
it
the
with a
only club that Mourinho doesn't look back with fondness. You know what I mean? And Conte and all these guys that have managed loads of teams, they all go, nah, it's poisonous, absolutely poisonous. But you're talking about these managers and they have experience and they're able to do us and Iriola and Frank and all these lads can get the better of us. They've managed a couple of different teams at least, maybe 2 or 3 different teams, so they've got experience. Arteta's managed us and that's it. So he has no experience in different situations, different games, when we're the underdogs or when we're the favourites. It's just he just does that's why he just does the same thing. He's like, I'll never forgive Arsenal for hiring a fucking rookie.
of it.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, absolutely, bro. And then one that's so kind of, I think he's been I think he's been so kind of glazed by the English media as well. He's really believing the hype. And like I keep saying, and Tony from Early Doors as well, big him up again. He made a great point. We're talking about all this tactical nous and genius, and he looks lost on the sidelines, bro. He honestly looks lost. I've seen him so many times. Look to his left, look to his right. The coaching staff behind him looking like they ain't got an idea, holding his tab. Like it just looks stupid, bro. You know, to allow this guy all of this power, all of that money. I'm like, I'm really baffled. Like, what did he do in that meeting? You know, for these guys to just blow their bolt on this guy. Honestly,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
like
He must have a sore arse after it. Man.
they really they must have us. You know, Pep's cone man. You know,
Yeah.
honestly,
But that's it. He always reminds me when he's on the sidelines. You ever see that popular clip of from The Wolf of Wall Street where DiCaprio dancing and he's doing the body locking thing. But
yeah, yeah,
when you see him on the sideline, it's the Jonah Hill character is doing this dance,
yeah.
and that's Arteta on the sideline, man. That's all he does.
You know what I
That
mean?
and
With
get back, get back.
get back. He's doing the body popping. He's landing planes. He's doing Pilates instructions. He's doing a lot. And the thing is, when I watch it, Shane, I'm looking at the team and I'm like, well, I'm not seeing no different. It's like they're not even listening to you, bro. You know,
We're already so drilled to just get back in shape all the time. And I
all the
get that. Like I get that you need some of that, but you also need your Sakas and your Wanieris. You need to say reserve your energy for attacking as well. Come back and be a body to defend, but don't be busting a gut and having sticks at the back every time. We always have 2 fullbacks and 2 wingers, and that's why the hamstrings are exploding all over the place. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
You don't get that at Madrid. I don't see Ancelotti telling Mbappe and Vinicius to run back. You know what I mean? Doing 70, 40 to 50-yard runs like backwards all the time. That's where a lot of the injuries come from. It's half time at the moment though, guys. It's just come up on AI scores. So, with the first goal, we was in front and then we're slightly behind now. I don't know why, but it is half time and it's 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Absolutely, I'm gobsmacked. I'm gobsmacked. I mean, I think Fulham started the game well. They were the team on top, and Crystal Palace weren't even having a sniff. You can see by some of the possession and stuff there. And then, soon as that shot came in from, is it Lamar? Soon as that shot, came, yeah. Oh my God! Soon as that shot came in, the game just turned on its head, and it's been all Crystal Palace. And
yeah,
it's
see,
been
that's what a real number 10 does, Hughes. That's what a real number 10 does.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
when they're number 10, when Eze's on form, Palace are on form. You know what I mean? Like that's what you need. That was like us with Bergkamp. When Bergkamp had a good game, we're going to win. That's it. We're going to win because he'll come up with something. He'll come up with something. And Eze set up the goal and he scored the first instead of the second.
Goal and assist. Great.
That's the last time Odegaard got a goal and assist in the same game. You'd have to go back. It's been 3.5 years since he scored a direct free kick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Did he get? I think it was PSV actually, but that was just like I said. That's an anomaly, bro. That's like that's not like this game. You look at Fulham and you look at PSV and you think on paper you'd probably have a harder game against PSV, but no, not at all. Like I said, these guys have got our number. So when we're playing against these Fulhams, and like I call them the usual suspects, we're gonna see on Tuesday what Odegaard can come up with because this ain't PSV. But yeah. Great game of football so far, man. Playing in the sun. Yeah, proper FA Cup tie. Brilliant. Let me get into a couple of these comments. So Mali's saying let's get one more. They've got one more. Let me know, Mali, what your actual bet was. What did you bet for a 2-0, 2-1? What
did you bet on them to win the cup?
Yeah. Oh, fair play. So that must be the whole bet in general. Okay, fair play. Inzaghi is better. Oh no, here we go. How you doing, mate?
How are you guys?
Yeah, we're all right. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. I can hear you. You watching the game? Hello?
I don't think he can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Oh,
no, all right.
How are you guys, man?
Now we're all right, man. We're all right. Watching the game. What was your bet? Was it just that they win the whole cup, or is it like individual games?
They win the whole thing.
The whole thing. Okay. Fingers
crossed. That was crazy. I got told I was.
Yeah, bro. But listen, that's the magic of the FA Cup, innit? That's the magic of the FA. That's why I like it so much, man. You know what I mean? To see like United and other teams pick it up all the time, it hurts. It hurts me. I don't know about everyone else, but definitely hurts me. I'm just about to read your comment here. Inzaghi is better, but I think Glasner is the cheaper option. Okay. Hey, what do you reckon, Shane?
At this stage, I'd just be delighted if I woke up and saw the news that our head was gone. I'd worry about who we. Honestly, I'd worry about who we get then. But I wanted them gone. Obviously, a long time ago. But I was thinking, like at Christmas when we were out of the league, I was thinking, get rid of them now, right? Get in anyone that that will sort of just on a end of season thing, like Chelsea did with Di Matteo, and get someone in and just tell them straight up it's just till the end of the season, and then we're going to get Allegri or Simeone or whoever. But just to give us a boost for the Champions League, just so but it's never going to happen, and he'll be here until at least January next year, and that's at the very least. But yeah, Inzaghi, I'd love Inzaghi, I'd love Simeone, I'd love anyone really, anyone that isn't him at the moment.
Yeah, would you take the likes of a Glasner?
If it meant getting rid of Arteta, yeah, I wouldn't be happy with it. I wouldn't be overly happy, but I'll be happier than I am now.
Fair play. That's just the priority mission, isn't it? What you saying? So obviously, Mali, you're saying that he's the cheaper option. So if you had a choice to get Inzaghi or Glasner, who would you pull the trigger on?
I'm thinking about it from our Arsenal perspective. They're not gonna spend that much money on Oliver Glasner, if we're being honest. the more realistic option is Oliver Glasner. I would take Inzaghi, of course, because I think he's the better coach, but Arsenal are not going to do that. So I think Oliver Glasner is the one I will snatch.
And this is what's annoying me, because am I silly for thinking that we're trying to turn a corner a little bit with this whole Berta thing? Because I'm thinking to myself, because I'm not gonna lie, when Berta got mentioned, but we had the likes of Jason Ato doing a great job by doing nothing. We had Thomas Rositzky waiting in the wings. You know, I thought, here we go again. They're gonna talk about Berta. We're gonna rock up with Rositzky, and don't get it twisted. I mean, that's still a possibility because Berta hasn't been confirmed yet. But I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, is this team ready to turn a corner, or is it just another one of those moves to? And they're really good at these PR power moves, let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? Just to kind of keep the fans in check and all that kind of stuff. I mean, do you feel like, am I stupid to think that we're turning a corner, basically? Any one of you?
Nah, not really. When he came in, we started getting some news about contracts, innit? So I don't think.
What about renewing the players' contracts?
Yeah.
Fair, because we've got a massive summer. As I've said a million times over, we've got 5 players leaving. You know, that leaves us with a squad of 14 before we've even done any business. Of course, we got 3 players, you know, on the chopping block with their contracts as well, which we need to get sorted out. You know, if Berta is confirmed, is he going to have enough time to get everything he needs to get done? Go on, you might as well answer that first, Mali.
Gonna have enough time.
It's going to be a massive. So like I said, bro, I think we're going to need like incomings of maybe about 8 players. If I'm going to be terribly honest, I mean, we got to get 5 minimum just to replace what's going out. Go on, sorry.
Looking at players behind the scenes as we speak.
They should be looking at players. Yeah, of course. I mean, they should have been doing that from Saka got injured. I was saying at 1 minute past 12 in January, it should have been smoke signals, fucking Morse code, messages in a bottle. Like, we should have done the whole thing. I mean, what do you think? Do you think he's going to have enough time in summer to actually give us what we need? Because just before I let you come in, I just want to say that if we sit on our hands in this bloody summer, with Newcastle getting ready to go mad, Chelsea always do it. Ruben's not spent anything. Liverpool, if they lose Trent and win the league, are probably going to spend again. We know Man City's going to spend again. If we sit on our hands, then I think we're in like a top 6 battle next year. So do you think Berta's going to have enough time to do what he needs to do, Shane?
I don't think so, because of all the players that we're losing, all the contracts that we're trying to sign, and it's just an absolute mess. You know, everybody's concentrating on Liverpool with Van Dijk and with Salah and Trent. But I mean, we're in the same situation. You know, we're looking at it. It's like we're beating a dead horse when we say it. But like, Partey's our best 6 and Tierney's our best left back, and they're both going. You know, why Partey's been let go? Maybe there's more to that outside case that we don't know. Maybe they've got a heads up that it's going to go tits up. But you know, and then we need to sign, you know, another holding midfielder. Yes, we do, but we don't need a Zubimendi so much as we need cover for Rice and play Rice in his proper fucking position. You know what I mean? Why spend 100 million on a 6 and play him in an 8? You know, he's not an 8. And then we have Lewis Skelly playing a left back, and he's an 8, and he's a left-footed 8. And Ted has been obsessed with left-footed 8s, and all the solutions, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are there. You know, and even Zinchenko is a left-footed 8 for his country. You know what I mean? Like, the options are there, and he just refuses to. So Berta needs to come in, and with things like that, if Arteta goes, I need a new left-footed 8 guys, and I need new holding midfielder guys, and Berta needs to go, well, no, you can screw that, because you have 2 of them there, right, already. So you start playing them before I even look at that position. You know, what you need is a striker, and you don't need a big Havertz 2.0 donkey like Fesco. You know, you need a Gyökeres. Oh, guys, but he'll answer back, and he's got an attitude problem. Now you've got an attitude problem. Stable here. You've got the attitude problem. You know, so Berta, for me, yes, sign up all the players that we need to sign, as in the contracts, but his biggest job for me is getting Arteta to toe the line. That's his biggest job for me, is to say, I don't want to come in and pick your team for you, but you better start checking these guys out first before I go spend a shitload of money on players you don't need. You know,
great
I was
points.
saying to get your man, it costs about 60, 70 million now, but maybe not, maybe 50, 60. But get your man Houston off Bournemouth, right? The Spanish centre back. He's like a Saliba type player.
Yeah.
Tell Saliba, look, I know you're going to go to Madrid in time. Give me another year, right? Get Houston in, say, look, you learn off him, and then in a year when Saliba goes for 100 million or whatever, his replacement's there, and then you start a young centre back to cover him.
Yeah.
This isn't rocket science. I'm not ripping up the rule book here. This is how a club should be run.
Yeah.
You know, this is how a club should be run. You get in your replacement the year before, and you put them down on your list the year before that.
Yeah.
You know, this sort of panicking and this. I need, you know, Zubamendi, but he said that's been in Arteta's head for 2 years now. Once I get him, I'll be. But things have changed since then. The club's fallen apart since then. You know,
we're always behind.
Yeah, but Alex Ferguson used to say you strengthen when you're winning. That's when you strengthen. Is when you're winning, because if he brought in Berbatov that January when it looked like he didn't need him, but all the strikers that were there who were getting a bit, all the Rooneys and stuff who were thinking, you know, my place is secure. They were suddenly thinking, oh shit, maybe it's not. I better step it up even more, you know. So, yeah, look, Bertus, for me, his biggest job is just getting Arteta to toe the line, getting him to play the players that he has, and hopefully piling enough pressure on the prick that he walks out.
Yeah. No, I'm in total agreement, bro. I feel like the job is monumental this summer, and he's really, you know, I'm hoping that we've chose him because, you know, he has got a dossier and contacts of people that he can, do you know what I mean, and good quality players on standby, and because at the end of the day, our summer's going to be monumental, and I don't think he's going to have enough time to address everything. That's why I think we really need to move smart this year. You know, you made a great point about TP's off the field activities, and for me, you know, because people were trying to talk to me about it from the start of the season, and I was like, well, if it was really that bad, knowing Arsenal, like, I don't think he would have featured as much. But then at the end of the day, we just don't know. So that could be an issue. But if that wasn't an issue, the smart thing for me to do would just be to give him the year extension, let Jorginho go. He's gonna let Kieran Tierney, even though I wouldn't do that, he's gonna do that anyway, right? We know that, right? You don't want him, okay? He doesn't invert. So we got to think about what this Lego fucking stubborn spastic's gonna do. So for me, I'd probably try and keep hold of Thomas Partey, sign the contracts we need. Obviously, we're gonna get that young Spanish goalkeeper, but from what I'm hearing, they're like 20 to 30 million, which I think is exorbitant for a backup keeper. I think that's way too much, my bro. Like, so that's a waste of money. So I wish they weren't going to do that, but they're probably going to do that. And then I feel like we need to, what we should have done in January and what we need to do in summer is utilize the loan market, because we are going to need bodies. We are going to need help. We're going to need enough staff to run the building. And I've just got a feeling that this guy is just going to set us back again, because us starting the season with 19 players was by design, you know. You know, the club, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but the club's obviously said to him, well, look, you done like 80 odd million in the summer, and if we ain't got enough, then we just don't know. But it seems like he wants a small squad by design, when, to be honest, we need to have a full quota. We need to have 25 players, bro. And even if only like 18 or 19 was really good players, and I don't know, man, but I just think, personally, getting back to the point, I don't think Butter's going to have enough time, so I think he needs to really move smart, and we need to utilize the loans. For me, I think that's going to be a big thing this summer. Sorry if I've gone on a little bit. You can probably hear my cat. Be quiet, trying to come in. Let me get some of these comments. Big up Godfrey. He's saying Wharton great feet. He's saying Saw, or was it Mateta? No, I made that mistake, bro. It was Saw. Godfrey also says Spurs owners let down the managers, no proper investment. It's been like that for ages, but you see Levy makes so much money, bro. He's a real hustler, but it just never gets invested in the team. And that reminds me of Arsenal. I was just watching this Lamar outside of the boot shot again. What a shot that was. Jesus Christ. That's when the game changed, in my humble opinion. Big up Why Not in the building, bigging up Views and Shane. Big yourself up, my bro. Hope you're well this morning. He's saying up the Palace, up the Heath, set Mandem. Oh, the Heaths. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's Palace's training ground or something. I'm not sure. But big up Why Not each and every time. Why Not's also saying, I'm not trusting them. Seeing is believing. No leaf has turned yet. Great point. Berta is still a cronky hire. Like Arteta, until I see different, he is a cronky guy. Until he shows he's just a professional. I mean, that's some of the questions that some people have been bringing up as well. What is he going to be like? I brought it up myself as well, because I feel like Arteta's won every battle at this bloody club. So before the second half kicks off quickly, and I suppose I'll go to Mali. Do you think it's going to be a yes man, bro? You still there?
Nah, he's not going to be a yes man. He can't be. He's worked with Diego Simeone, bro. He can't be a yes man to Arteta, bro. What has that career? Nah, man.
No, I just said no, you can't be, bro. I don't know. That's all I've got in the back of my mind is that Arteta's won all of his battles. I'm praying that he's not a yes man. Like I said to Shane previously, I want to hear the Godfather music. I don't even want to hear him talk. Just give people the look. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just, like I said, fingers crossed. What do you think, Shane? Do you think he's a yes man? Do you think he's second half's about to start?
No, I don't think there was a champion on something there. I don't think you deal with someone like Simeone if you're a yes man. I don't think it's possible to deal with. But I'm hoping that's what it is, that they've said Arteta's just lost the plot now. We need someone to come in and, you know, if Arteta's contract wasn't so big and they didn't have to pay him off so much, would they be looking at getting rid of him? I think they thought, what's the next best thing? We get in someone to keep him in check. And that's, like I said, that's my my hope is that he rattles them so much that Arteta walks, you know, because I don't know how much you'd have to do that to someone that will get paid off 30 million or whatever. If they get fired, you'd have to do a lot.
A lot.
As long as Arteta has the top gooners on the side, sadly they're the vast majority of the support now. You know what I mean? Like, you only have to look at the people like ourselves who are against Arteta. In general, it's the older fans, because, you know, and I've said before that I didn't want Wenger out, and then when Emery, I wanted him to get a bit longer as well. So I'm not disloyal. I'm loyal by nature to managers. It's just Arteta. I don't see what he's trying to do. I don't know what he's for. You know what I mean? I don't see any forward thinking. I see him going, I want to do this false nine thing. It worked at City while I was an assistant manager. I'm never trying anything else, you know, and that's it, like, you know, and we had to tighten up the defence. Okay, you did that. I'll give you credit for that. You tighten it up. We don't leak goals and stuff like that. But, you know, anybody can pile the box and defend. You know, like, it's a low block. Anything we kind of done to us. So
against us, yeah.
You need to find a happy medium. You need to be able to score as well. You know, like that season, City scored over 100 goals or whatever it was. Their defence was good too, mate. You know what I mean? Yeah. They just didn't concentrate on defence. You know, defence is, good defence wins leagues, but you need to be able to score, mate. You know, you have to be able to score. You have to score.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I hope Berta comes in and takes a lot of charge of a lot of things. I hope, like I said, that he goes, no, listen, dickhead, you're not getting a left foot 8. You've got to try them first, and then I'll think about it. Let me see them have a run of games, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So I suppose it boils down to, I just hope that Berta comes in and brings some common sense to the club. That's all I ask for. Just the bare minimum bit of common sense.
Yeah, and I think you're bang on there. I mean, that's common sense. It's, you know, just a little bit of logic. You know, why are you gonna try and get that guy when I can get you this guy who's, you know, 10 million cheaper and performing better? So that's what I'm hoping for as well. Excuse me. Big up Mali, said I'll be back for the next game if you're doing it. I think we are. Well, I am. Big up Godfrey, said got a bounce. Big up all the people passing through. Just make sure you hit a like on the way in or way out, and make sure you subscribe to both channels. But yeah, I don't think that, you know, I've never seen Arsenal have a monumental summer where we've got everything we need to get done. So, you know, I'm not gonna then say it's gonna happen now just because we've got Berta. I just feel like he really needs to be shrewd, and if anyone can do it, it's him. So, you know, I'm trying to just kind of stay positive in that regard, because I really feel like if we mess up this summer and we go for squad players again and players that ain't gonna push the needle or anything like that, you know, we're going to be in the top, not even the top 5, I think like a top 6 battle, bro. Honestly, I honestly feel like that. Because I don't feel like any other team's going to sit still next season. I mean, they might, don't get me wrong. I didn't think Man City would sit still last summer, and I think they kind of did. But even I saying that, and I'm being a bit of a hypocrite, because even when they finished and they ended up with Gundo and they got Savinio in, and I'm like, well, those 2 players are better than all the shit we've just got in. So I was like saying, their window was better than ours. And if you look at Savinio or Savio, whatever you want to say his name is, I think he's a brilliant player. He could be a little bit more potent in front of goal. But when you actually watch him play, he's so dangerous. He's always going past someone. He's always putting the ball into dangerous areas. He's having shots. I think it was a decent signing. So, yeah, I mean, like I keep saying, I feel like if we sit on our hands, bro, we could get left behind. So this second that everyone's so comfortable with, this literally might be the last year of it. If we get there this year as well.
I'm hoping that Arsenal made contact with Berta a long time ago to see if he would be available. I'm talking like a year ago, because we know that he can dig out players, diamonds in the rough. He did it with Cunha, was at Atletico originally, and Jota, and these players that he got for next to nothing, and they ended up becoming great. Because he's going to need 3 or 4 of them. He's going to need 3 or 4 gems, which hasn't been done at Arsenal since Wenger first came and he signed Vieira and Anelka and all these lads in his first, the lad and Petit, these lads that became amazing. So we're going to need. So I'm hoping that they contacted him, say, a year ago, and he said, "Yeah, look, I'll finish my contract and I'll be with you then at the end of the season." Because then he might have kept a few of them in his pocket and not gotten them for Atletico last year. That's a small hope. Like when a band's about to break up, like the Beatles were about to break up, and the likes of John Lennon and Paul McCartney and George Harrison kept some songs in their pocket that they go, oh, do you know what, if we're going to break up, I'm going to keep some of these songs for when I go solo. Some of these are going to be great hits. I'm not putting them on Let It Be, but so I'm hoping that there's something like that where he has a few in his pocket that he didn't, and that we'll sign them then this summer. Because apart from getting a couple of big name players, we need some gems as well, because we don't have enough money to sign 6 top players.
Exactly. So when people are talking about a war chest and 250, I'm like, bro, that's not a war chest. It's almost like pocket change in this day and age in the market as well. So that's what I mean, and that's why I was talking about even utilizing some loan deals, because I think with the loan deals we could then probably get players of a better quality to actually come in and help us now while we're still trying to scramble to sort out the problems. Do you know what I mean? So no, but whether they're loan deals or gems, like you said, I'm really hoping that this guy has got them up his sleeve. I really am, and just like you said, because I was questioning, because they started speaking to us about it like almost like straight after January, and I'm like, well, if his contract was cut, like why have we not tried to move this up and get him into place for January? And as you said, they might have already had them kind of conversations, the same as Trent and Real Madrid. So no, I totally agree with that, bro. And I just hope that he has got those dossiers, he has got those contacts, because we really are going to need, like you said, like I think forget Isak, like we need to put dollar in for Gyökeres. We need to get a left winger sorted out, whether that's a Lookman or a Williams or someone of that ilk, and then start looking at a few loans. I mean, Camavinga might want to leave Real Madrid at the end of the season. Brahim Diaz, Arda Güler as well, the Turkish guy. Turkish was talking about him maybe getting a loan next year, because I think he wants to stay at Madrid, but he also wants minutes. So we could take. Oh Lord, sorry. To see him Fulham have a chance, we could take advantage of that. We should have been taking advantage of it. Like for me, we should have moved heaven and earth to get in Dani Olmo when Barcelona were having problems with him, even on loan. So yeah, no, totally agree with you, bro. And I'm hoping that we've not all glazed this guy for nothing. I'm hoping that the proof is in the pudding, basically. So yeah, fingers crossed. But we are into the second half. Big up Mali. He's saying, what's you guys' second half predictions? What do you feel is going to happen, Shane?
Cliche, but it's all about the next goal. If Fulham get it, I think they'll pull it back, and if Palace get it, it's over. But the way it's going, I can see Fulham coming back into it. I can see Fulham coming back into at home. The cup quarter final, they've got a good bench.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Fulham got a draw out of this.
Wow. Yeah. No. That's like I said. I thought it was going to be tighter than this anyway. Like I was saying, a 1-0 or a 2-1. Obviously, we've got the 2 goals, so it could still be a 2-1 game if Fulham. But yeah, I think it's all about the next goal. And just from the first half, like I said, Fulham was all over Palace. It was literally up until that shot off the bar, and then it just switched. So yeah, I can't tell, to be honest with you, bro. But like I said, like Shane said, I think it's all about the next goal. But it's definitely set up nicely as it stands. Nice weather. The game's getting a bit physical now, so yeah, man, we'll have to see. But yeah, next goal counts. You know, that's going to be the most important one. Free agency market as well. Well, they just outright refused to do that. I mean, what did you think about that, Shane? Would you have had a little look on that, or would you have just left it as well?
David is free in the summer. He's a top player. Why isn't he even mentioned to Jonathan David? He's free. He's going on a Bosman, and he's a top player, and he's a forward, and he can drop out the wing as well. It's ready made. Again, maybe he has a bad attitude, guys. You know, maybe he has an attitude problem, guys. You know, but
Look at this,
I mean,
man.
that's like I said this before to you and to a few others, that when people were talking about Osterman and Gyökeres and all these, we need to get these guys. You have to remember that about 80% of the pool of strikers we can go for, you can just count them out because of Arteta going, they've got attitude problems or they don't track back. You know, and that's the Osterman. He wouldn't be able to. Osterman would fall out with him within a week. Osterman's far too strong-willed. He's far too, goal-orientated. He's far too, positive, I suppose. And he'd track back. He tracks back for his country. He tracks back for whatever club he's at, but he doesn't religiously do it. And so he shouldn't. You know, Haaland doesn't track back all the time.
No,
he saves
exactly.
his energy for when he goes forward. My missus will be watching the City game with me, and she goes, "He does nothing," and I'm like, "Yeah, but wait if he gets a chance. Wait if he gets a chance to score."
And then bang.
And that's what he's paid to do. It's why forwards are paid more than anybody else.
Exactly. Great point, man. Great point. You don't, like I said earlier, you don't see Ancelotti asking them guys to track back in it. No. He just lets them be free. So, like I said, man, and I think you've identified it as well. Like, Arteta is literally the number one problem at this club. Literally, in my opinion, the number one problem right now. As of right now, 2025, even end of last year. But look what he's done. They act like he's the Messiah, like he's turned a loaf into and fed the 5,000. Like, honestly, bro, like, and I'm just looking at it like, why can you guys not see what we see? But there you go, man. It is a pain. Yeah. Big pain.
We had City on the ropes last season at the Etihad when it was 0-0. We were all over them, and he stepped back. If we had won that game, we win the league. And Rodri came out after and said, "Oh, like it's loser mentality," and I was like, "He is 100% right. He is 100% right. If City had needed to win, City would have got the win. You know what I mean?" And
no, great point. Everything forward. So I'm just seeing this.
And the funny thing was the draw made no difference to a loss in the end. Like, it was 3 points or 2 points. You know, they were still ahead. You know, if we got the draw, fair enough, we had a loss, but then we were dependent on Tottenham to beat them and things like that. Yeah, we could have taken it into our own hands.
He's so timid. He's so scared, bro. It's like you're more scared to lose than you're G'd up to win, and that's the problem with him. And now you was like that as a player as well. And now this team is a reflection of you, pragmatic. And even though we have got a good defense and we kind of sorted out a bit, they're still leaking goals. But that's down to the whole team up front not putting them away, the midfield not being competent or strong enough half the time, you know. Yeah. And like I said, Saliba, Gabriel, go on.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say Saliba, Gabriel working their asses off to keep a clean sheet, and then you've got donkeys up front missing open goals and that. So, you know. But anyway, go on.
We do have the best defensive record. You have to take into account when we let in goals, when we're 2-0 up against Villa and we draw 2-2. You know, the mentality of it. We mightn't let in goals. You know, even against Leicester, we were 2-0 up. We went 2-2, and it was only a trot there. How people couldn't see that we weren't going to win the league watching that game and watching the home game against Ipswich. You know, when we beat them 1-0 and we barely had the ball. And that to me was like, we're winning nothing. I don't care if we won those 2 games. We were
because you can see that it's not sustainable. Absolutely, facts.
You will get found out. Yeah,
exactly. And my one and only appearance on Never a Foul, they was all trying to catch me out, and I'm like, nah, mate. Like, Arsenal was shit. Do you know what I mean? You ain't gonna get no excuse me, top gooner takes out of me, because That was after we played Wolves, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, like look at it, like how are we gonna win the league? I said Chelsea and Liverpool got all the momentum, and then lo and behold, half of the season, because Chelsea were up there for long periods before they dropped off. But yeah, I'm just looking at how we play, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, this isn't the team that was even kicking ball last season. Like, what is this? And he does it every year, and that's another question I was going to ask you. Are we going to then change our style of play for next season?
The only way I'd see it changing is if we went more defense, because that's what he's done every year. I always hark back to that 22-23 season when he had strengthened the defense, but the attack was still, it was Jesus had just come in, but we still had Martinelli and Saka who had been there, and they were electric, right?
Yeah.
He started to grind them down. That was before he could get his hands on them properly, and why didn't we just keep playing like that? It boggles the mind why we but we were like, the defense wasn't as tight as it is now. Yeah, but we were scoring 3-4 a game, a lot of games. We scored 3 against Liverpool. I remember we beat them 3-2, and we took 3 really early, and we smashed them off the park, and smashed United, and we were just ripping teams. In the first 20 minutes, we were out of sight,
Yeah.
But it all goes back to him. It all goes back to him wanting to lock up, and it all goes back to him. I just don't see him going, all right, I need to go attacking next season, because everybody's saying it, so he won't do it. He just won't do it because he's a narcissist.
He's like a woman like that, innit? Because there's no logic. Yeah. It's just all emotion. Whatever you say, I'm going to do the opposite. Great point.
Yeah.
Great point. Cook him with that one, Shane. And I see it as well. That's why I say, and I'm looking at it this year, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to listen to all of your crap PR. I'm looking at this guy, and you look clueless, bro. And you look stubborn, and I don't like your press conferences, and you're beating around the bush with your answers, and that you've got this Arsene Wenger ego with nothing to back it up. You know what I mean? It's just like, I honestly can't stand the guy, and I feel like he and that's why I blame the Cronkies, because how can you not identify the one biggest issue at your club? Which is Arteta. So, totally in agreement, man. Totally in agreement.
Too much power too early.
Yeah, too much power too early. Gone from a head coach to a manager, like literally for getting second place. I think it's for getting into the Champions League, basically, innit? For earning them the money. That was his reward. But yeah, this game's we've just gone over an hour now. Starting to slow down a little bit. Fulham. Yeah, Crystal Palace probably happy to sit back a bit with a 2-goal lead. It's the onus is on Fulham to do something here. So let's hope that they can. And yeah, like Shane said, man, Williams actually had a good game today. I'm surprised he actually had this in him, still in the locker. But going back to, sorry, Mally, 1 second. Going back to the free agency thing for January, my bro. Would you have, or even straight after January, when our club was having a bank holiday and everyone else was having a transfer window, after they closed and everything was shut, and so I think someone said to him, "Oh, the free market's available," and he's like, "No." Like, and obviously you're saying Jonathan David in the summer, but I was just talking about January, just after January. Would you have dipped in?
Diego Costa or something? Who cares what age he is? If you can throw him on for 10 minutes and he rattle a few feathers, we've said it before as well about when he's flogging Saka into the ground and we're 5-0 up against Lons and he keeps them on till the 65th minute. And there's other games, I think it was the West Ham 5-2, he kept them on till the 87th minute. And
oh my God, sorry.
Things like that. And we've said before about bringing on, give him a rest. You're wrapping them, but it's a win-win. It's 2 points where you bring on someone who needs football and you take off someone who needs a rest. And these are the basics of football, the absolute bare minimum knowledge.
I think you said that on Aaron's channel as well. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like it's there for everybody to see, and so he goes, "Oh no, we don't want bodies. We don't just want bodies. We need someone who's going to make a difference to the team." Right? So fucking Meg Sterling and Neto are going to make a difference to the team.
You know what I'm saying?
You're a hypocrite. An absolute hypocrite. Marino. Did we need him? Did we need Calafiori? We have 4 left backs on the bench every game. So he's an absolute hypocrite saying we just don't want bodies.
Yeah.
So get in a couple of free transfers. Who cares? They're professionals. Even if Diego Costa came in and played 2 hours of football over the whole time he was here, having him in and around the training ground, or having him in and around the team, that sort of. But again, would he be able to handle Diego Costa? No, he would not.
Probably not. Diego Costa probably kill him, you know what I mean? You know, but I'm saying,
man would kill him.
yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'll just look. I think they brought on, is that Traore, and I think they brought on Emil Smith Rowe as well. So they're trying to change things up. But no, great points. And I think even if I was saying it, I'd go and get me fucking Pogba in March whenever he become available. Go and get me that fucking Ben Yedder. Yeah, because we haven't got nobody. Go and get me Diego Costa, and I don't go and get me all three of them and tell them you're here for 6 months. You're gonna get like 10, 15 minutes a game or whatever, depending on how you play. And even that would have given us a little bit more belief going into these final fixtures in the Champions League. So yeah, listen, I just feel like we've just been shown like so much negligence from the club. Like it's like they don't. So when everyone's talking about Saka, and the club don't care. They don't care about the players. They got Rice playing on a broken foot. Ben White needs knee surgery. Saka's running on fumes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they just don't care, bro. And I was just like, how did you not even get a free? Like what has gone on at the club?
If he got a free of you, that would be him admitting that he fucked up in the transfer window.
Great.
That would be him saying, after him saying, "Oh, we don't want bodies, and we don't want to just sign someone." And for him saying, "Oh, like the injuries were freak accidents," and we all knew they weren't. We all know they weren't. But if he then went and got a free transfer, the reporters would go, "I thought you said you weren't going to get bodies." You know what I mean? So it's just an arrogant thing. He'd rather the players drop like flies than get a bit of cover for them.
Cooking. That is a great point. Shane is cooking today. That is a great point. Exactly. And it's all about saving face rather than doing what's best for the team and the club. And that's what really annoys me about this guy. That's why I want him gone so much, because I think I've seen enough. Oh, he's only had one bad season. I've heard that argument as well. He hasn't. He's only had 2 good ones. In my opinion.
He won nothing in his good season. He didn't win anything in his good season.
Yeah, fucking fuck all.
Sorry, we won those trophies, guys. Those trophies.
Some silver plates. Do you know what I mean? That was embarrassing as well. Big up Mali. This I haven't been keep up to date with anything, including Arsenal arcade. I'm not sure with the free market stuff. Is the news about Real Madrid's players being banned to play against Arsenal true? I don't know.
We're trying to get Mbappe banned or something because he stuck his finger up or he did something or other. The Arsenal are trying to get him banned. Like pathetic.
How pathetic. Because you got to remember as well, right? This is what we come to. Oh, sorry, ball's just gone through there. Oh shit, crossing. This is why we come to the Champions League, right? For these big nights and this, that, and the other. And then you got the club trying to do things like that. Now, big up Mali. I did see that, but I didn't read into it. I don't, I don't expect them to have any players not playing against Arsenal unless they're injured or actually suspended due to yellow cards. And I feel like actually there's a couple of our players that are on yellow cards, isn't there? I think, is it Saliba?
Declan Roy.
Yeah.
So in the fucking second leg against PSV when he didn't need to play.
Do you know what I mean? So just headed out by Palace there. Fulham are pushing here, 67 minutes on the clock. But yeah, that's embarrassing. I know, but Mali, to go back to your question, bro, I didn't read into it, so I'm, you guys would probably know more about that than I would. Big up, why not? Big up Mali, they're bigging each other up. Why not saying Madrid case pending? Like I said, man, you lot would have to let me know because
propaganda from Arsenal on it. That's all. I wouldn't read into it at all.
Yeah. I think you're right. A great shot from William. Great save. Did that take a deflection as well? Fulham pushing to get back into the game as you would expect. But if they push too much, they might get sucker punched like in the first half. But this has been a header in, scramble. Oh, how did that not go in? Oh my days, scramble off the line. And Crystal Palace can breathe a sigh of relief, but Fulham still in possession of the ball, sorry. Oh, great play. How did Fulham play better football than us? This is what I'm trying to... This makes me sick. Every time I watch other teams...
That could be a penalty. They might give a penalty for that.
I didn't see it. Headed down.
Okay.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know.
What time are you at on your screen?
I'm just waiting for them to show it back up. They're showing this replay. Who was that? Not Traore. Or was it Traore? I'm on 68-26. 68-29. Let me have a look, quick
Okay.
little check on AI score 6908. So yeah, just about 40 seconds behind the real game.
I just went back. I'm right on your time now.
Yeah. I think because you're watching it, I'm doing on my phone on ITV app as well. So yeah, it's always going to be a little bit behind. Oh my
That name,
days. Oh my days.
I should have come from the comment. I didn't even read it. I said as a loser, so are you for backing him. So, I hadn't seen that. I hadn't paid attention to it.
Oh my days. But we've
Straight
got
to the point.
Arteta coming off for Eddie Murphy. Oh my god. He's even number 14 for Palace. Oh no, he ain't. He's number 9. Number 9. I thought he was 14.
Yeah.
Because
I
when
love
they
Eddie though. I mean, he wasn't good, but I love him.
he wasn't good. He wasn't good, but I don't blame him. Do you know what I mean? I don't blame him.
You
I
still
don't
got
blame
to, you still, you wanted him to do well, that way. You hate it. I hated being mad at him.
Yeah.
I didn't like
yeah.
being mad at him. Where Havertz, I enjoy being mad at him because I think he's just a mess. But again, with Havertz, the Havertz thing, it's not his fault he's being played out of position either, and it's not his fault he's not good enough, and it's not his fault that this money was spent on him.
Yeah.
But
He didn't say,
it cost. Oh, here we go, Emil Smith Rowe. How we could do with him this season?
Oh, how we could. Is that Willian coming off? Is that Raul Jimenez about to come on?
Look at that. Look what they can bring on under Fulham.
I know. And look at our bench.
We have left back on the bench. We have left back on the bench, and they're bringing on Smith Rowe, and they're bringing on
Raul Jimenez.
Jimenez.
Yeah, great player.
So they have two proper number 9. They have two proper number 9.
Yeah.
Nunes and Jimenez, and we have Havertz and Marino.
Yeah, can't even say, we've got Gabriel James coming out saying that he's not a striker himself. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
that he's not that fond of scoring goals. Unbelievable.
Like unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. And we put him on best part of $250,000. Like, this is why we can't get rid of these guys. Absolute shambles, man. But yeah, but look, even Crystal Palace, even before they got rid of Eze, Elise. They got Eze, Elise, Mateta, they got Sarr, all these, and you're thinking to yourself, where's the talent ID at Arsenal? Like, why are we rocking up with Earthworm Jim and Calafiori? Like, I don't even remember a centre-back, Italian one, ever being successful in England, bro. If there is one, someone please educate me, because,
Materazzi did all right at Everton.
Well, there you go.
People forget he was there.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget he was there.
He was only there for a couple of years, I think, but he did all right. But look, the Italian defenders, and that's a really good point, actually. I never really thought of that. With the pace of the game, it doesn't suit them. If you had a whole Italian defence, you might do all right. If you had to forward them, you might do all right. But yeah, there's one. Yeah, I never really looked at it that way, and that's a very good point.
Yeah,
very good point.
I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I think someone said it very early into the summer, and I can't remember who it was, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm really racking my brain. I can't think of Italian defenders that's actually come over and shone. I remember obviously Ravanelli, Paolo Di Canio, those kind of players.
Yeah,
attacking Carbone, they had really good attacking players, Zola in the league, but in terms of defenders, no, I mean, you've just come up with Materazzi. Well done, Shane. That, like I said, bro, I couldn't name one. So when I'm saying that we're going in for
you're talking about Carbone there. Well, I thought I was telling you my brother's a Wednesday fan.
Benito Carbone. That's what I'm trying to say. I was young and I used to
had him and the Canio up front one season, man.
Yeah,
that was my brother's favourite season. Carbone and the Canio up front. Reggie Blinker out the wing, man. Oh.
And they were cooking, bro. You remember Sheffield? They were cooking. Yeah. And I had
they won the first 4 games of the season that year. I think it was 96, 97, I think. But they had those two up front.
Lamar's down, sorry. Yeah, 96, 97. I remember having the Premier League magazine with all the stickers and,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's when football was, the good old days, man. That was really, we had some good Italians back then. Do you know what I'm saying? And
every team had at least one Maverick or
like a star player. Like who did
Huckabee or someone,
Norwich and who did Huckabee play for? I remember everyone had someone, even Chelsea, bro. I remember Chelsea had like Torre Andre Flo and Zola and Ida Johnson and do you know what I'm saying? Jimmy Floyd. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the teams had players and stars, like even before the money. You're absolutely right. Every team had someone that you had to look out for. Like, Yeah,
Yeah.
great stuff.
United had Cantona, and
You've heard it.
every team had a fan favorite like that.
You've heard it. Sorry, Shane. There's been another goal apparently. I mean, I'm gonna wait to see if it counts. It's saying it's 3-0 to Crystal Palace. I don't know if you heard the cheer there.
No.
So this could be it for Fulham. Crystal Palace. So just seeing the tackle there, Crystal Palace on the attack. It says a goal on AI score. Ball's gone through.
That's offside.
It's offside. Is that? I was in Kitty as well.
I think he's offside though.
I think he's offside.
To me, anyway.
They're still
First
saying
when it looked offside. I haven't seen the replay yet, but
look, and he's trying to do the cool. Look at him. Oh my days. But the thing is, look at that finish though. It's a goal, bro. I think it's a goal. He looks offside, but I think it's a goal. Look at that finish from Eddie Nketiah. You think Kai Havertz could do that?
Go on, Eddie.
Go on, Eddie Nketiah.
You got away from Arteta and you're smiling again, mate.
Well, I was just saying that he's on the bench. He can't score a goal for Crystal Palace. And he just says, shut up, bro. Like, what do you know? Do you know what I mean? But fair, listen, no, he's on. He's on. You can see the line. He's on.
Yeah.
He's on.
Go on, Eddie.
Look at that finish. Look at that finish.
That's a great finish.
You think Kai Havertz can do that, bro?
Fuck you, Eddie.
Fuck you, Eddie. Eddie Murphy, bro. Hey, I want half Eddie. Hey, look at this, bro.
Yeah, the fuck you, man. Right?
That was classic, man. With that Eddie Murphy war, that was classic, man.
I had that on video cassette, man. And
video cassette, remember? Yeah, because we're old school. So I used to have all millions of video cassettes, you know. But that's a great goal from
outlandish shit he's coming out with in it, like.
Oh man.
Doing that he pissed off the gays, and every time he comes, and they're woo. Not even a siren, it's just a real gay.
And when he was doing the when he was going to watch, in the cinema? Was it Rocky? That was funny as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Pay for my fucking candy. Take your fucking candy. Let me get a packet of juicy fruits there, and some junior mint.
Shane knows, bro. That was. I literally still try and watch that every so often. You know, the whole McDonald's thing. That was one of the best stand-up lives ever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That and Richard Pryor.
The only people that grab the dick more than us.
Yeah. I know, he was brilliant, man. And he put away Scary Spice as well. So good on Eddie, mate.
Yeah.
Good on Eddie. That was brilliant, though, man. But I can't believe Eddie and Nketiah just scored a goal like that. Like, we could actually do with him at our club right now.
Are they using the VAR from Europe? The offside?
It looks like it. It looks like
talking about that one.
Yeah. I think it's with the VAR decisions that kind of challenge the referee, if you will. Yeah.
They were using the one where the computerized. It looks like when they do in the Champions League, it's different. They weren't drawing the lines. It was just a flat thing. Maybe it's the FA Cup. Maybe they're trying it out for this.
Maybe, like I said, because this year all of a sudden they've started speaking on the mic as well. So I'm not up to date with it all, but that did look like the one that you do see around Europe. But I was informed, especially when all that shit with PGMOL was going on, that we are different from the rest of the Europe in terms of the VAR system. Right. Maybe not of the offside. I don't know. But that was on, man, and I can't believe Fulham are getting panned like this because they're at home. They started the game brilliantly. They've not really been ran ragged, but Crystal Palace have just taken their chance. They've been really clinical. I have to give them credit. Hold on. I'm missing some comments. So my apology, guys. Big up BX Gunner in the building. Not sure if you subscribe to Shane BX, but please do that for me, man. Show some love for the love and all of that. Shane Gooner. I have put his name in the description, so hopefully you lot can click it. And if not, just type in Shane Gooner 123 and subscribe to my broski. So BX says Jimenez should have started. Why is he coming on now? Fair point. I did say that when we were looking at the teams. Jimenez on the bench. I didn't know why he was, but I'm not going to say that Silva wasn't justified in doing that because Fulham started the better team, bro. They were all over Palace until that shot hit the bar. So, I mean, good point, but it's all hindsight, I suppose. Big up why not again. He's saying I believe that 4 players are under investigation, no official ruling or bans as of yet. Okay, so that's obviously relating to the Madrid stuff. I'd be surprised if anything happens before the Arsenal game, especially because we're about to come into April now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you know more about it than I do. Big up Mali. The only Italian defender I remember playing in the Prem is Ogbonna. Wow. See that now that name rings bells, but like I said, off the top of my head, even well done Shane for saying Materazzi because I was gone. Yeah, Matt Letitia for Southampton. There was just ballers at different clubs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There just was like you had your Huckabees, you had your Letitias, you had your Zolas, your Benito Carbones. You just had quality. Do you know what I mean? All over the pitch. Well, all over the league, I should say. Yep, goal. It was a goal. We thought it might have been offside, but it wasn't. BX is saying what he's no Eddie Murphy, he's Damson Idris from Snowfall. Yeah, he looks like that. It's just because his name's Eddie in it, but he does look more like Damson.
Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie. Listen, if you ain't seen Eddie Murphy before, that is like an all-time classic, mate. All-time classic.
Greatest stand-up set ever, I'd say.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that.
Hour and a half of stand-up that's ever been done.
Oh man, I don't think I've ever seen Eddie Murphy as funny as that, man. Honestly. The McDonald's, the Rocky, the gay fit, like it was just, going back to Africa, it was just brilliant. Honestly, so many like classic moments, man. So many classic moments. We're going to Wembley, so he's fully doing up Crystal Palace. Fair play. You got your bet on. Big up, why not? He said crazy Tori Andre flow. Yeah, blast from the past. I remember watching a game at Stamford Bridge. I think they won 1-0 and Tori Andre Flo scored. And I remember the game because they were doing crossbar before the game and Flo was doing it. And oh shit. Oh, sorry. They just had another chance there, Palace. Jesus, Fulham need to get it together. But I remember Andre Flo doing crossbar, man. That's the reason why I can remember him so well. I didn't read the rest of your comments, sorry. I have forgotten more footballers than I remember. Yeah, that are better than Salah. Absolutely. Listen, Salah's numbers you cannot argue with. Yeah, his what's the word? Conversion. How potent he is up front. You can't argue with that. But you can't tell me about best wingers in the Premier League, and because there's millions of players that were better ballers than him. Joe Cole, Hazard, Henry. Perez was a better baller than Salah. What are we doing? Do you know what I mean?
By a long way.
Perez.
The thing with the numbers is, I was thinking about this the other day. Salah's had, I think, 12 or 13 penalties this season alone, right? Mm-hmm. And he gets that about every season. You get penalties are so much more nowadays than they were. So when you talk about goal scorers and you're talking about, you have to add in, take some of the percent away for the number one, the amount of penalties they get. Number two, how soft it is. They don't get kicked anymore. You have to remember all this. They used to get pulled to the ground. So if you take an Henry and put him in now, his numbers are even bigger. They're even bigger now. Like Salah gets about 12, 13 penalties a year.
That's a great point.
Letizia got 40 penalties in his whole career. He scored 39 of them. So he only got 40 in his whole career. So that's about 3 or 4 seasons. Imagine his numbers if he was getting 12 penalties a season, because he scored all of them bar one, so his numbers would be massive.
Imagine Shearer's numbers if he was getting.
Yeah, Shearer's numbers, and Andy Cole only ever took 1 penalty in his whole career.
Andy Cole,
and he had those numbers. Yeah. He only ever had 1 penalty, and he took it for Fulham. It's only because no one else would take it. He didn't believe that a striker should take penalties and count it as goals. He thought that it doesn't count.
And then even
imagine Andy Cole now.
Yeah, bro. If we're talking even back then, we weren't talking about assists in the same way. So yeah, the game has changed. That's a great point. But yeah, like just forget all the stats. Just looking on the eye, I can name 10, 15 players that walk all over Salah in terms of play style. But go on.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, if Salah had been that good, he would have made it when he was younger. He would he was off at Basel when he was 21, 22. He's a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic player. An absolutely fantastic player. And he's built for football today.
Yeah.
But when you take in that defenders can't tackle like they used to, when you take in the amount of penalties, when you take in the amount of games, they have a lot more games to get these numbers up. You know what I mean? When Shearer and Ian Wright and all these lads were around, you only got into the Champions League if you won the league.
Yeah,
You know, so you put their numbers.
Yeah,
You'd only put their numbers if they're in the Champions League every year as well. You know, so all these numbers, you can tone it down a bit for me. These young lads with all their stats, watch a game. You know, when
watch.
talking about Havertz, oh no, I don't know why you're getting on his back. He's got this number and that number and that number. Do you not watch him play? Do you not watch him? Yeah. He's giving it all away, and he's fucking, you know, and when does he score a goal? When we're 3-0 up, or when you know what I mean? These stats, you can sub your stats up your arse because it means absolutely nothing to me. You know, did you know that?
And do you remember that? Do you remember that old school film Breakdance? Like that's you know, I picture Havertz with the broom because every time I look at him, you're on the floor, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like you're telling me about all the stuff he does off the ball. I'm yet to see it. I literally, you know, he played 90 minutes and do 2 good things, and then everyone's like, oh, do you know? But when you're looking at him for the rest of the game, he's out of position, he's on the floor, you know, he's missing 6. You're absolutely right. Just look with your bloody eyes. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, but yeah, great point, bro. Great point. The game is totally different nowadays, and yeah, man. Yeah, there's so many players. We had ballers back in the day. Big up BX Gunner. Yeah, he's saying Raw and Delirious. Yeah, Delirious was good as well. But for me, I always find myself watching Raw a little bit more. I don't know why, but you know, brilliant. Big up BX Gunner as well. He said Dimitri Payet. Do you remember Dimitri?
What a player!
He was a player. Oh my!
I could watch that free kick where he bent it into the top corner. I could watch that over and over again all day.
Dimitri Payet.
You know what? You know what made him even better, and why he was so good. It was his attitude. He had a bad attitude, but
was he like Uruguayan or something? Where was he? He was like Uruguayan, French. Oh yeah, Payet. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's his bro. That's the thing that Arteta and even certain managers, even I wouldn't say Pep's guilty of it. I think he kind of lets players be themselves a bit, but sorry, just watching Fulham. But that's it. You just said it. They all had backbones. They all had personalities. They, you know. So yeah, I think it's being coached out of the game. Say that again.
That's what made them great players. Is what I was saying. Was the attitude. You know?
Yeah. That was part of it. That's their makeup, isn't it? You know, if you've got a backbone, that's what makes you, you know, a top player. You know, you're going to want to take the game by the scruff of the neck, like Alexis Sanchez, and just outright win the game on your own. Do you know what I mean? Even Arshavin, like, you know, look at the players that we've had, the technical brilliance, Santi Cazorla, Bobby Pires, even Lundberg, bro. Like, Lundberg was crazy.
3.5 million. Oh.
Yeah, just a totally different time. I know, obviously, football's changed. You know, you don't find those gems as much, but you know they are still around, and people do find them. You're seeing them all over the league. Do you know what I mean? Like they've obviously come from somewhere. I look at the Premier League. I'm seeing Semenyo, Elanga. You know, this player, that player, Morgan Gibbs-White, Morgan Rogers. You know, and you're thinking Arteta was at Man City. How do you not know about some of these players, mate? Do you know what I mean? You've gone there and brought us Bart Simpson and Gabriel James, and they had Morgan Rogers, the Lap. They had.
I never thought of it.
You know, Jesus Christ.
Why wasn't he signing Cole Palmer?
Cole Palmer, exactly, bro. Why are we not doing that?
Because he was spending 65 million on Havertz that summer. So
fucking having wet dreams about Havertz. I think is it like Lamar guys come off? There is a little change for Crystal Palace. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep you up to date a little bit with the match. But it's kind of petered down a little bit. Obviously, Fulham trying to get back into it. But Crystal Palace just kind of put the nail in the coffin. As Shane said, next goal was going to be all important, and Crystal Palace got it. So we're 87 minutes in. Ain't going to be no extra time in this game. And I got to big up Crystal Palace, man. I got to big them up. I really do. Because I thought it was going to be a lot more tighter than this. And with how Fulham play, you know, because watch comes, you know, and I pray for you, Shane. You know, I hope we don't have a bad experience, mate. You and your missus. I hope we get something out of that game. But look, we're seeing Crystal Palace pam them 3-0 now at home, and they're going to come to the Emirates and give us a game, bro. Like, trust them.
Palace have 3 different players that can score. Well, Eddie and Kedia not so much, but he still scored with his only chance. Yeah,
exactly. His only chance of the game, and he's bagged. In a quarterfinal like that, bearing in mind, like we've gone out of the quarterfinal, like, well, we barely got into the quarterfinal of the Carabao, or semi-final we got into, but Champions League, quarterfinal last year, probably quarterfinal again this year. Like here's a quarterfinal, bruv, that they're playing right now, and Eddie Nketiah scored a goal. So so it's a good question that Rashid was saying. Do you know what I mean? Like you know, when you're talking about Saka, I like Saka, and you know, but are these players really getting us across the line in these clutch matches? Like that's why even before the injuries, we needed that sprinkle of stardust. We needed help for Saka. We needed cover. You know, we needed more. Nathaniel Klein just being. I forgot about Nathaniel Klein. He was quite popular a couple of years back.
He was a good player.
You see, you know, I look at
He went
Fulham.
to Liverpool on stage, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was signed for Liverpool when he was young.
I'm pretty sure he did. Pretty sure he did. Yeah,
That might have been a Brendan Rodgers, right?
it could have been.
Reincarnation. That's fine.
But yeah, Brendan Arteta. That's yeah. But no, man, I'm looking at both of these. I'm looking at both of these squads, bro, and it's like there's a lot of those players that I would take at Arsenal, especially this guy, player of the match.
Yeah, walk
50,
into the team.
Yeah, 50 million. Have that. You get
would
me?
walk into the team. Mateta would walk into the team.
Yeah.
You
know, maybe Wharton would as well. Wharton, yeah, he's done well today in midfield. That's a great goal from Eze. They're just showing it again. You know, and then when you look at Fulham, you know, obviously they got some of our rejects that are playing better than they did at Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? But they still got some players. I like Jimenez. I think he's a good player. I'll definitely take him. But yeah, congratulations, Eze. I think he's got the player of the match as well. Well deserved. So
proper number 10 performance.
Yeah, bang on, Shane, bang on. Big up Mally says Oliver Glasner doesn't need to come into Arsenal and buy players. He just needs to change the formation. We have defender. We do. That's what I'm trying to say. Even if it was someone like a Slaughter and Inzaghi or any of these competent guys, they really wouldn't have to come and do a whole rebuild. They'll just use the team properly, you know, because Arteta's always putting us at a disadvantage. That's what I was saying when we was trying that whole fucking party experiment at right back. Not only are you mashing up our midfield, but we've now got no overlap. Thomas Partey isn't defensively going to be switched on for the whole game. So you're fundamentally changing our game and putting us at a disadvantage before we've even kicked the ball. And this is all Arteta's fault, you know? So, yeah, I think someone like Glasner, just someone competent, someone that isn't trying to put, is it round square pegs round? I don't even know. Yeah, you know, this is what he does. We got a centre back playing right back. We got a left 8 playing left back. It's just ridiculous. CDM playing up front. It's just honestly, it's embarrassing.
When you lay it out like that, though, it never ceases to shock me, man. How ridiculous it all is.
And this is what I'm scared of, Shane. Is for next season. Sorry, say that again.
No, I just said it will never stop shocking me. The decisions that guy makes.
No, absolutely right. And I'm scared, Shane, that for next season we're going to start and we'll probably be playing a 3-5-2 or something. It's like who knows? Do you know? And it's like we how we've meant to build any continuity or any kind of rapport and all that kind of stuff and chemistry when it keeps changing. Like it's very weird. And I'm thinking maybe it's because I see Pep does it a lot of the time. I'm seeing Amorim do that a hell of a lot. You know, one game Mainu's 9, next minute he's 10, next minute he's DM, next minute he's not even on the pitch. So I'm thinking, is it the managers of that mold, that ilk? They're too fiddly? Because I think this kind of system football, the way that this tiki-taka boring, I think that's dying out a little bit now, my bro. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's now that there's teams like Inter and stuff ripping it up, it's going back again. And I'm glad because it's so boring to watch when it's like basketball when it's just back. And I'm not saying basketball's boring. I'm just saying that football isn't basketball. It shouldn't be played the same way, and it's side to side. And yeah, look, someone put up a clip the other day on YouTube. It came up on my short feed, I think, and it was just it wasn't even a goal. It was just a back and forth between United and it might have been Norwich in the mid 90s. And they were saying, look at the speed of this, and it was just boom, boom, end to end, and it was tackle, pass forward, and beating players. And when you don't see wingers beating players like that anymore, beating 2 or 3 and having a ding, and when you do, when Eze picks the ball up and beats a player and hits it, it's a goal.
It's a goal, and he's world class when that's just what the standard winger would be doing back in the day,
That's all you have to do. Wanyeri does it. He take the ball, beat the player. But how long until Arteta starts dropping him if he does that? That's the problem.
Well, Saka's back, so he could be getting dropped already. You know, which I think is a fun.
He's got to put him in a 10. He's got to put him in a 10. He won't, but he
won't. Exactly. But yeah, the game has ended. That's why I took the AI score down. It was still playing on ITV, but like I said, we was a little bit behind. 3-0 Crystal Palace. Very, very surprised with that. But it was actually a half decent game of football. We are going to be back for the later on game. Is it Brighton? Nottingham Forest, I believe. I think they're the two that I set up for today. I might even do 2 again tomorrow if you're about. No worries. Yeah. So refreshment break, all of that. We'll be back at probably live around 5 o'clock for the kickoff at 5:15. So big up all the people that came through. Let me just read the last comments before I go. BX said we could have got Sarr a few years ago from Watford on the cheap. Well, we don't do these things. You know, why are we not raiding the Premier League? That's what I'm trying to say. We never do. You know, we've been raided by a million clubs, you know, rivals, everything. Do you know what I mean? In order to win the league. But yeah, great point there. Why not said Palmer and Pep personally don't get on. Opinionated and demanding, probably soft belly, bimbo hole Arteta. Don't like personality. Yeah. So that's, you know, yeah. So he might have known about these players, but thought, oh, they've got too much of a backbone. So yeah, great point there. Yeah, I got you, bro. And then BX Gunner, yeah, Shane Gooner's link. Brilliant. Thank you for that. So make sure that you will go and click that, people, especially people on playback as well. Go and show Shane some love. Why not saying Arteta ain't tiki-taka, too pedestrian, and Pep has moved away from that. Hansi Flick plays tiki-taka. We play tippy-tappy. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, great point. Can't really call it tiki-taka because it's boring to watch, innit? It's like doing community service. Big up Mali saying big up the lads. All right, cool. Thank you ever so much, Shane. We're going to have a little break now. We will be back at 5 o'clock, everyone. So subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Shane, like the video. Back at 5 o'clock for the next game. And we'll see you then, people, man. See you then. Big up.